If you got paid $1 a second, then it would take you roughly 11.5 days to make $1 million. However, it would take you more than 31.5 years to earn $1 billion. It's simple to categorize people as either affluent or poor, when, in reality, there are probably 5 different levels of wealth and conditions differ significantly at each one. What a millionaire and a billionaire can accomplish differ dramatically from one another. Our global wealth increased significantly in 2021. By the end of the year, it had increased by 9.8% to $463.6 trillion at the time of the current exchange rates. Adult wealth increased by 8.4% to $87,489. With exchange rate fluctuations taken into account, global wealth increased overall by 12.7% in 2021. The strongest yearly growth rate ever. However, factors like inflation, increasing interest rates, and trends in dropping asset prices might undo the strong growth of the previous year in 2022. A recession is imminent in 2023. In this video, we'll examine each of these income categories and examine how the extremely wealthy spend their money, including some of their strangest and most lavish purchases. But as you observe, you'll see that perspective is one of the largest shifts that occurs at each degree of wealth, because how much you earn affects how prices feel. Therefore, the difference between someone making $40,000 and someone making $400 million is 10,000 times greater, which implies to them $30 is the equivalent of purchasing a $300,000 Lambo. $10 million for a work of art? $1,000 feels like a lot. A $50 million Hamptons residence feels like $5. Now, have we given you some perspective? Let's start with the first class of rich people, the top 1%. Even while this expression connotes tremendous wealth, if your annual income exceeds roughly $200,000, you would really fall inside the top 1% of earners globally. Therefore, being in the top 1% might not make you feel as wealthy as you might believe. Sure, you can usually afford a good car and house, but such items come with higher expenditures, so you probably don't feel particularly secure about your finances, and you're probably still working a full-time job. As a result, wealth is now assessed in terms of net worth rather than income above this point, because the more wealth you have, the more assets you own, and it's likely that you don't receive a compensation for your work. So a net worth of $10 to $30 million is the next degree of wealth. You can meet your demands here. You can do so in great comfort. You live in a gorgeous home. You frequently travel abroad in first class. Depending on the occasion, you might reserve a $2,000 suite. You can afford any medical care you require, and no unforeseen financial emergency can endanger your life. However, you are still not wealthy in the sense that wealth is unimportant. With major judgments, you must still exercise caution and common sense. You're still not considered an ultra-high net worth individual in the banking industry. Which gets us to our next stage. Net worth of $30 million to $100 million. At this point, you start competing in the major leagues. And it's extremely likely that you're the CEO of or hold a majority stake in a very large corporation. You regularly stay in 5-star accommodations, and you also have access to a number of properties across the globe. You take vacations during popular times, like when the Formula 1 race is being held in Monaco, or the film festival is being held in Cannes. And if the hotel you're staying at costs between $10 and $20,000 per night, you won't even blink. You have personal assistants, and you're beginning to have people that other people have to talk to in order to get through to you. Almost everything that most people would consider to be the things affluent people buy is available to purchase. For instance, you can purchase any car, the most expensive jewelry, and so forth. You take a private flight instead of a first-class flight. Your social circle also dramatically alters at this stage. You presumably mix with members of Congress, senators, and local authorities. Within some very exclusive circles, you probably enjoy high regard. Interestingly though, while being surrounded by other extremely wealthy individuals, you could still feel underprivileged. Although your friend possesses a special edition Ferrari of which only 5 were ever produced, you may have recently purchased a brand new Ferrari. While your millionaire friend recently had dinner with the president, you just had supper with the local governor. This leads us to the following level of wealth. Total assets between $100 million and $1 billion. Even if the broader public hasn't heard of you personally by the time you get to this position, you probably own or run a business that is well known in the neighborhood. At this point, you could be able to socialize with celebrities from the entertainment industry, actors and business elite. It is possible to perform almost any task with style. There are numerous homes with servants and expensive cars scattered over the globe. You can get a private island if you so choose. A private yacht will undoubtedly transport you there. Our previous video, The Most Expensive Thing in the World, serves as an example of the ludicrous stuff people in this financial category buy when they have this much money. At this level, collecting the rarest and most valuable objects is more significant than merely buying the priciest, most lavish items. Another choice is a $160,000 8 times a year special edition pen with 4,810 diamonds inside that costs $160,000. Or if you want to go even further, maybe billionaires choose to purchase the arts. Items like Damien's artwork depicting a dead shark and not simply priceless paintings. It's important to note that as of July 2022, there were approximately 3,311 known billionaires, a substantial increase from the number of billionaires on Forbes' annual rich list in recent years. The combined wealth of these 3,311 billionaires, according to Forbes, is $13.1 trillion, making them richer than the world's 5 billion poorest people put together. In 2021, the number of billionaires in the world increased by 3%. Let's look at what you can do with $1 billion now that we have a better understanding of its size. Basically, everything can be purchased. I do mean anything though. More than merely expensive goods and experiences are now under discussion. You can first purchase access. Nearly everyone on the earth can be contacted by your team. It's astonishing how much access and respect $1 billion can buy you. You could ask your people to contact someone within an hour, and they could do it. Not only are politicians, presidents, and heads of state involved, you might as well be a donor in their political campaigns. The second thing $1 billion can buy is influence, which takes us full circle. As a billionaire, you have several options for influencing public discourse and legislation. This isn't necessarily done in a malicious manner, such as by attempting to get rich people's taxes reduced, although that obviously does happen. However, thanks to your riches and contacts, you have the power to affect major changes on a global scale, not just in politics. Because influence is another thing that can be purchased through donation and altruism. Your contribution can genuinely alter many lives. The ability to effectively purchase time is one of the main disparities between billionaires that is sometimes ignored. There is simply nothing for you to wait on. Not a line, no lazing about. Just consider this. You can arrive at the airport anytime you like, get in your private jet, and be in the air and able to travel anywhere you want if you have one. The negatives of being this extremely affluent, though, are real, since no amount of money can make up for everything. Losing a loved one, losing your health, and realizing your own mortality are difficulties that no amount of money can fix. Death is the great equalizer. I believe it's worth giving it another thought if you are viewing this video and feeling depressed. Because we've covered a variety of wealth levels in this video. You're clearly not at the very bottom of the wealth pyramid if you're watching it. It's simple to gaze up and get angry that some individuals have so much more than us, but take a time to glance down the wealth pyramid. There are numerous levels. There are not just two groups. Additionally, you can be far wealthier than you believe compared to the majority of the world. Please join us for the next video. Thanks for viewing.